Step into the paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler, brought to you by Paranormal Inc., right here on WLFE DB Radio.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45.
That's my favorite part of the show.
Keep tracking the numbers, man. Let's see. Last week it was like 43. No, 44. Pick a number.
We do the show, of course, bi-weekly, but we take an episode off, man, and we're like,
yeah.
The one night you came on was like, this is 34. No,
30,
44.
44. Whatever number we're. I know that this one's 45 because I have the numbers.
David Seiler, we have an amazing show lined up for tonight.
Really?
Man,
what's going on?
We're here.
Booyah. All right, everybody done? Thanks for no.
If you, for those of you that saw our last episode, which was 4 weeks ago, because we took off July 4th, we had our friend Jamie on. Okay. I met Jamie shortly after we filmed for Haunted Hospitals. And tonight we have Jamie's entire paranormal team with us. They are New England Spirit Society. Take a guess where they're from.
Maybe New England.
There you go.
Booyah, Bay. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how are ya?
Hello. Howdy.
Are all of you in New Hampshire right now? Or are you in different locations?
No.
Different locations. This house is in New Hampshire. Everybody else is in Maine.
Oh, wow.
But you got to understand, like, I could throw a rock from my house and hit Maine. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, probably less than
3
minutes away.
Like South Berwick's 8 minutes from us. So
We have so much we want to talk about with you guys. I don't even know where to get started. Like Dave and I we have so many friends up your way. And we just hear all the stories coming out of the New England area.
Oh, yeah.
And we were so honored to have you all with us tonight. I've been waiting for this personally to get you guys on to talk about some of your adventures and everything happening in that part of the world. So I guess started off, whomever, just tell us how you guys all came together and started your group.
Well, so this is Boats. And then you got Paula. The three of us were on another team. And, we kind of had a different vision than what the other team had. And so we decided to split off and start our own team. And then we've kind of collected people along the way.
riff-raff.
We got the riff-raff.
Picked up strays.
I'm the token good-looking man.
Yeah. So
when Paranormal Inc. started, I collected Dave, and
he was doing a solo project, and I came with him.
But once I collected Dave, I knew I couldn't handle no more, so we cut it at that.
we adopt them like stray kittens.
How long has your current team been together?
We actually just started in November, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
We're new.
Very good.
Nice.
New as a team.
New as a team. We're all, except for a few of the team, most of us are, that's our new, this is baby Ness right here. She's less than a week old.
Aww.
And but the rest of us have all been investigating for a minimum of 5 years.
Nice. Very well. Now, this historian and researcher I keep hearing about, which one of your members is that?
that would be me.
Ashley, we've heard so much about you and what you do.
And it has been good. We'll give it that.
Most of it. But we've heard just the contributions that you make toward the team and when you guys are setting up for an investigation, and it's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, so we decided as a whole that we wanted to kind of go in this a little differently and have somebody that fully dedicated to researching every single case and finding all the details, not just a few of who lived there or who may have died in the house. We go into family histories, we look for diaries, we look for personal information. I've gone as far as finding someone's bank records from the 1700s. So it's we just want to come forward with everything that could be a possible help in any investigation for not just ourselves as investigators, but for the clients as well, and how to help them deal with their problems moving forward with the help of Paula. So that's important to all of us to know everything we're getting into before we walk in the door.
Right. I hear David over here typing.
Sorry, I'm answering all the people as they're coming up, and a lot of people that are coming in. So I'm not ignoring you.
Are any members of your team mediums or psychics or anything like that? Oh, okay. Both of them.
Those two.
Wow.
We keep it in the family.
Yeah,
Okay, you all are related?
we're sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, very well, good. How do you feel about, do you ever do, and how do you feel about doing like a remote view before you go into somewhere or before you start a case?
That's actually how we do it. So when we get a case, we have specifically asked that we don't get any information except for the address. Then she and I both do remote views. We don't talk to each other. We don't compare our remote views. We don't talk to anybody of the team. Once they're done, we sit down and have a meeting, and we'll go over what we got, and then Ashley will tell us what she got for history at that point for research. And if for us, personally, I love it because often when you do things on a remote read or any kind of a read, it's very difficult sometimes to get proof, to have somebody, and Ashley is constantly, she makes a checklist as we tell what we've gotten, what we've read on the property, and she'll do like a checklist and say, I found research to substantiate this. I found research to substantiate that. And that, I love that.
And that does help us get better because if we don't know what stuff is before we get, if we don't know, if somebody doesn't tell us, then it's much, much better when we come up with it, just what seems like out of thin air. So it's fun. It feels like a game show to me.
Well, I think it's important to note too, we work a little bit differently in that when we do any of our reads, whether it's remote or on site, we're specifically looking for the problem.
Yes.
We could be getting tons and tons of irrelevant information in, which might be fascinating, but that's not what the team is there for. We're there to figure out the problem and to help the people be more comfortable in their homes. And so that's what we focus on.
Right. Before we go any further, I just have one question I want to answer. Colette, we will answer that question shortly. She asked how the Hoover House was last night. I have a couple funny stories, and of course they involve this guy right here. So touch on that later. I want one last question, Paul and Pam. How old were you, and how did you discover that you had the abilities of a medium or a psychic?
Since we were young, very little, as soon as we could walk and talk.
Wow. Now, is it any way, shape, or form hereditary, or?
Yes, I would say so. We all have had because we have two brothers as well, and we've all had experiences and
our parents too.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Wow. I find that so amazing.
Yeah,
like,
that would really freak me out, though.
We have a.
It does until you learn how to work with it.
I've had a couple, I don't call them premonitions, but kind of, I call them deja vus. Like I've seen it, and I know that something goes on, and if I don't change it, something bad's going to happen. And it makes me feel like I'm on a boat rocking. And until I change that pattern, it stays there, and then I'll change something, and then it'll stop. So I don't know how y'all do that every day, and I'm glad I ain't got it. Y'all do. So,
Well,
we
I
have
did
a-
it one time. I did it one time, throw a spiritual tantrum, and I said I did not want any more information. I actually don't remember what caused it, but I saw something I didn't want to see, and it was bad. It was bad. So I shut it down for a while, and then when I got a little older, I came back to it.
we have a question from Lauren Malloy. Paul and Pam, what abilities do you have, seeing or hearing?
Everything, every one of our senses, every normal sense that you have, sight, hearing, talking, taste, feeling, all of those we use. That's how your psychic ability works. It works on those systems.
Dave and I have several mediums that we use.
And I'm an extra large.
But several mediums we use and work with. And Dave and I have an upcoming residential case. And I tell you what, one of our mediums did a remote view. And I have never seen something so spot on because I gave her absolutely nothing. I didn't even tell her the client's name. So she came back with this information for me. I then spoke to the client. Then I personally started the research, and it was so spot on that, I was getting freaked out reading it because it was like, oh man, if this says next, what I think it's going to say.
Yeah,
everything
started
started
a little bit about
up.
it, and he's like, "Here's what she said." And Dave, take a look. I'm like,
We'll look at your battery. That's why I asked.
Jamie, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is very vague, but do your best.
All right.
What is the most haunted location you've investigated to date?
We live there.
You know, I gotta say, I'd almost say the current residential house that we just did.
Oh wow.
You're the first one.
The first one, yeah, my old house. Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about that.
I had dirt
But,
thrown at me.
That's right.
we actually worked on one of the oldest naval installations in the country, and that was fairly active as well.
I used to be US Navy.
I go to and from work every day.
Yeah. We actually did an EVP session in our day room at the fire station one night, and we actually got evidence.
Wow.
The rest of the firefighters stayed away from us, but we got
We actually did the Fire and Police Museum up in Essex, and we were there with Mike King from Ghost of Shepherdstown and his wife, and there were things directed right at her that we couldn't explain. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because in New England, like anywhere out here is haunted. There's been a lot of places that we've been to that it's just constant activity. So I guess I don't really think about it for the most part because, like my house, it was very busy, but I was used to it. You know, investigation standpoint, this last investigation we did was busy.
Wow.
Night.
I know it's a little bit of a distance from where you guys are at, but Dave and I will actually be in Rochester in March for the
you hit me on the side. Stop that.
Rochester Parafest.
There you go. Sorry.
just in New York.
I'll get right in the middle of something. He's like, yeah, good question. Wait, what?
That's why I did that.
Yeah, so just take a little extra time off work, head east, come see us. We'll take you places. We'll do stuff.
All right, the first place I want to go is, what are you guys known for as far as food?
No,
Lobster.
I like lobster.
Oh, seriously? That's the only good food we have up here is lobster.
That's not true. We got some good haddock and shrimp.
All right.
How about pizza?
I'm used to New York City.
That's debatable.
All right, we'll do it like this, man. We'll get a pizza with lobster on it.
They do that. No.
That's just pushing it.
Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Lobster doesn't
Although,
belong on pizza.
we'll take you to Paula's. She'll make you the nice little coconut bars that she makes all of us. You won't want anything else again.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I tell people I'm on a seafood diet. I seafood need it. So lobster.
When we what did you get? We were in Iowa. What was it Red Lobster? Did we go to Red Lobster?
We went to Red Lobster.
That was my first time.
He had never been to Red Lobster before, so I took him over there. And you know how when you go like two people to Red Lobster, usually it's about $100. There it was like $40.
Yeah, Iowa and Nebraska was very cheap compared to what we're used to.
Oh yeah.
We had a Red Lobster in New Hampshire, and only lasted like 6 months, and they got forced out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So
It's all processed food.
I have a question for the entire team, and anyone or all of you feel free to answer. What did you think about Jamie being on TV?
I think she did a great job. I think it came out really great.
She did a good job.
Yeah, she did a great job with that woman that played her. Kind of reminded me of Alice from the Brady Bunch. No, it was actually pretty good.
I tell you what, man, I didn't want to know Jamie's story prior. I was just waiting for her episode to come out, and they get released at 4 a.m, and man, at like 4:01, I was watching it. But what I liked about Jamie's story was it took such a turn, because the first portion was involving the lady getting pushed and whatnot, and then it completely turned, like took a 360-degree turn. I was like, oh wow, this had a whole different outcome than I was expecting.
He called me up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go, dude, the girl that I was up in New York with, it just came out. I mean, I'm like, slowed it down. So I was watching until 5 in the morning.
That was. What do you guys got coming up?
A lot of review.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get a tech specialist.
We could do like a 6-hour investigation with 8 cameras, and 6 hours per cam, 8 cameras. You know what the math is,
right?
He's like, "I'll see you in 2 days.
Let me know what you find."
So we did a 7,000 square foot place. We have 18 cameras, 12 and a half hours per camera.
Oh.
84 hours.
Wow.
Damn.
Do all of you review, or is it just a certain few of you that have that
There's
tab?
certain of us.
I think we all.
Well, the bottom, we don't have the
working
bottom
on
three
mine.
don't do it because of the stuff that they do on the outside.
Right.
Yeah. If we have time at the end, we'll pop in and help. But usually I like to finish up the research and have a nice tidy report for the client. Paula and Pam are doing the same thing, giving a nice, beautiful report to the client so that they have all 3 aspects going into each investigation. So to review.
If you had one location anywhere, like in the New England area, that you haven't been to yet, where would you go?
Go ahead, Melissa. I see you get all excited.
That old prison. Every
Oh,
time,
the shipyard?
every time I've
Yeah, good luck with that.
every time I've gone to Alice Shoals, I see that prison and I'm like, oh, take me there.
It is haunted. I've been in that prison. It was nice to be a cop at the shipyard because you saw somebody go inside, so you got to go in and investigate.
Little.
So the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, it's a federal installation. The old prison.
The movie Chasers.
Okay.
With Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they were taking him, to Portsmouth Naval Shipyard.
Oh wow.
So that was actually part of the movie.
So back in the day, the shipyard is on an island, and they used to bring the prisoners onto the shipyard on a boat, so that they wouldn't know where they were at, and they would release prisoners, bring prisoners in, and take them out by boat, so they didn't know their surroundings. Mm. So the prison was 1800s, so Spanish-American War. We had it's like Leavenworth, basically, for military prisoners. And the place is allegedly haunted. Other teams have tried to get in there. Their PAO was like, no, that's not going to happen. But those of us that have been in there for various reasons, I can assure you, before I knew anything about paranormal investigations, when I was a skeptic, I am no longer a skeptic because of that building.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not just that building either.
No, a lot of the buildings there.
My cousin used to clean in some of the places, and
Yeah, the shipyard's
there's a lot of things happening.
pretty haunted.
Wow. So when Dave and I come up your way for the first time, where do you suggest we go first?
Fort Constitution.
I was just going to say Fort Constitution.
Yeah.
You know what? When you're ready to come up, you guys let us know. You'll have a couple personal tour guides.
Definitely.
That'll
There
work.
you go.
Right?
Sounds good.
And I have a nice new Nestmobile, so
Do tell.
How come?
I just got my minivan back. So, it's all got a nice new van, riding comfort.
Look at this.
Nice.
That's what we need to do, man. We need to buy.
Yeah, the Paranormal Inc. van.
We need remember the old Partridge Family bus?
Hey, we just have a
So somebody just asked about, I saw 2 questions come up that I wanted to address. Somebody, and I don't remember who it was back towards the beginning, had asked about how does one become a paranormal investigator?
Yep, that was Carmen.
Okay, so Carmen, a lot of people just look for public events in the area. And that's a good way to kind of get a start, get your name known with some teams. And a lot of people, believe it or not, they just do a lot of research on their own, studying on their own. And then, yes, there you go. Start up on their own, kind of learn at their own pace. So there's so many different ways. We lucked out because we knew the people on the other team, had a little trial period, and then they invited us on. And then now we started our own. And then brought in people that we knew and trusted that kind of had the same thought process that aligned up with what our end goal is. And then the other question was about being a police officer. Does that help you get information? No. You can't use your job as a police officer to access information.
Correct.
For a client.
Now, we do have one from Lauren about have you guys experienced any scratches during an investigation?
I have.
This last investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they were told not to touch, they ended up touching me on the thigh.
I actually got scratched last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
We were hosting a public event at the 1912 Hoover House. It was our first time there. And it's a functioning bed and breakfast. I was upstairs with some of the people in my group, and Linda was watching. She was there. We were just, we were in one of the rooms. So I felt like a tickling sensation on my neck. Well, all of a sudden, down here on my arm, it didn't leave no marks, but my arm started burning. And then I felt the scratch. And about 60 seconds later, one of the spirit boxes we were using, a child's voice come across and said, "I'm going to scratch them." So it kind of all lined up. Yeah, it was kind of freaky. One of the funny things that happened last night, though, Colette, if your question was about, I was down in the main parlor and we were running a Phasma box, and making light of the situation, I said, "Hey, can you play a joke on my friend Dave and go up and smack him?" And our friend Linda said, "Go up and smack him in his bald head." So we continue on. About 40 minutes later, Dave comes down with his group, and one of the girls in Dave's group says, "Ernie, you ain't going to believe it. We got it on film, Dave getting smacked in the head."
And then it started going. And I didn't think anything of it, but as soon as she said it, they're like, "Yeah, we were telling Dave." I'm like, "Stop that, would you?"
But it was that was a very interesting place, to say the least. What I like, if you're ever in Pennsylvania, definitely go to the Hoover House. It was, you know how some places are scary and some are just active. And this place, what I liked about it, it gave you a very historical feel. It was very comforting, but yet there was a lot of activity.
Oh, it was. The cool part is where we went was, and I just found out this evening, we went up to the office and we've got an EVP. We said, how many spirits are here with us? And it came across plain as day, 3. Put up a Phasma box and I asked again, how many spirits are here with us? 3. I was telling Ernie today when he came over for the show, I'm like, dude, we're up in the office and I got it on 2 different devices, the number 3. And his words were?
I don't remember exactly what I said. But we kept getting 3 too.
The number 3.
Yeah, when we would ask.
When they were up there.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's crazy some of the stuff that you get, you know, you kind of sit back and you're like,
yeah.
So Melissa here is we just taught her how to do evidence review.
Oh,
2:00 this afternoon. She's supposed to be over here at 3 to do some training with us. And next thing you know, she's sending text to me. I can't stop. And she's got all these pictures of evidence review. I'm like, oh, geez. And it's addicting, right? Like, it's boring. But, man, when you get that one little bit of anything, you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love it when you're able to not only catch something, but then without even knowing it, you were able to confirm it with somebody else.
Right.
So that, you know, when you solidify something like that and you have it on film, our cameraman John, who's actually in the show right now, somewhere in the chat, he does an amazing job and he catches stuff that we completely miss. So love him to death. So if you ever need a good cameraman, reach out to John. He's here in the show.
For example, twice a year we do a seminar in our hometown. And we didn't tell John, but I've actually investigated the hall where we do the seminar. And John contacted us. He was reviewing what he filmed 2 weeks ago for us. And he's like, hey, I got a question. This might sound crazy, but has there ever been any reports of activity in the hall itself? And we're like, oh, yeah. And he was telling us while he was going through everything, the voices and stuff that he was picking up that we were completely unaware of.
Like listening live?
Yes. So, and his review, I mean, he comes up with it and it's like, guys, you got to hear this.
Yeah.
You guys got to come to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I mean,
heck yeah.
That's a wish list of mine.
Yeah, it's 4 weeks away.
There's John right there chiming in. Wait a minute. Let me get him on. There you go.
Yeah, he said he heard it. He heard it live. Paul and Pam, I hate to put you on the spot, but every time we have a medium on, I ask the same question because I'm just so fascinated with the answers. As far as what you're able to do and the gifts that you have, is it like if you, let's say, for example, you're going to like a family function somewhere, the abilities you have, is that something you're able to turn on and off when you're like not there for that?
Yes. You know what I mean? Yes, you do need to have control of it. You do practice that.
Well, you should. I don't think everybody does.
True.
But if not, you're being completely inundated all the time. It just becomes too much.
Right. So all the senses that you use, all of your physical senses are the same senses that you use for accessing that ability. We all can do it. It's all part of our survival system. It's just some of us train a little bit more in it to work with it. And so it gets clearer, it gets better, it gets stronger.
Oh, wow. Wow. That it just amazes me, especially like we were talking about the remote views. And you know, I've already had, without them knowing, I've already asked someone to do a remote view for us, and I gave them wrong information just to see if they would pick up, you know what I mean?
Right.
To check and they were right on it. They called me up and was like, and explained everything. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. I sent you the wrong photo, but I did it deliberately just to Not that I questioned them, but I just wanted to see the end result.
He's a cop. He does that regularly.
I'm only a cop when I'm working, and that's questionable then too.
Y'all don't know sign language, but
wow. You said that recently you had a residential case.
Yeah.
Is all the evidence? Have you went over all the evidence already, or are you still doing it?
We just did it last weekend, so we're still in the review phase. It'll be a long time through all this evidence.
oh, definitely. Yeah, been there, done that. Sometimes it
And
takes
babe, some of us do know sign language. I know exactly what you just said.
He's such an ass. It's a wonder I don't drink. What
keep it G-rated.
I don't know how far along you are in your review or whatever, but are you able to at this point tell us prior to getting there what some of the claims were? Why the client called you?
We can't really say too much about the property without giving away its location. So I'll say that a lot of it was footsteps. Mm-hmm. They didn't really know if there's much there. It was more of there has to be something here, something more than footsteps and music playing.
Oh, wow.
So I had experienced the footsteps and the music playing just doing the walkthrough.
Explain, what do you mean the music playing?
The lady explained, she's like, I don't know how to say it, but like I hear music, but it's like off in the distance, but it's like not out there, but it's like in here. And I didn't understand what she was trying to get across. And then I'm sitting there doing the interview and I hear music in one of my ears, and it was like being played in my ear. Right. So here I am talking to this new client. I'm starting to hear this and I'm like,
wow. Dave and I have actually experienced that before. And the best way we could describe it is if you've ever been investigating a location and like in another room or, up above on another floor, you'll experience what sounds like a conversation or people mumbling back and forth. We've actually heard that with music, and like as we tried to track it down, like the closer we got to where we think it was coming from, it moves. But then when you almost kind of trap it, it just dissipates and goes away. So it's a hard phenomenon to explain to someone. It's something that they have to experience.
We were at Haldeman Mansion one time, and we had a parabolic dish. It was just Ernie and I in the mansion, and Ernie's to my left, and he's aiming up the steps, and he goes, "Can you say hello to me?" Well, I'm sitting there just sipping on my coffee, not really thinking much of it, and he jumps like a frog, and he goes, "Did you say that?" I'm like, "Say what?" And he goes, "Something just said hello, Ernie." And I'm like, "Give me that." Put it on, aim up. I said, "You just said hello to Ernie. Can you say hello to me?" And he goes, "Hello." And I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah. But we actually, with that device, we actually heard like a conversation between two women coming from upstairs.
Absolutely.
And that's a creepy. I don't get creeped out, but that's a creepy feeling, man. When you
hear things that aren't there,
when you hear people talking, and you're like, wait a minute, I know there's no one here. We got the keys to the place,
So Melissa and I were the first ones there last week, and the homeowner's with us. And we're hearing people walking around downstairs. And so I'm like, oh, the rest of the team must have showed up. And so we're going and we look out the window and it's literally just our cars there. And we like look at each other and I'm like, hello? Who's here? And we went through the whole building. There's nobody.
I have this brief story involving disembodied voices from last night. And my phone has been blowing up for me to share this evidence. We were investigating the Hoover house, and all of a sudden we heard off in the distance and we wasn't sure where it was coming from. We heard a male voice saying, "Get me out of here." Well, upon further investigation, he was stuck in the elevator, and was in the elevator staff yelling, "Get me out of here."
They had this very, very thin elevator. I turned in because I injured my back Thursday, so I'm walking real slow. I didn't want to take the step. They have a light switch that comes on, and then you hit the button and it starts to go up. Well, between the second and third floor, it stopped. Now, I'm a bit claustrophobic to begin with. Then all of a sudden, the light starts coming on and off. I'm like, come on, really?
I just sent you all the video of it.
All right.
So I'm looking down, and I'm like literally at the edge of the doorway for the third floor. And then there's a big drop, and I'm thinking, all right, I've injured my back. Ain't no way I'm jumping down there. Not a snowball chance. I'm stuck. Now all of a sudden, the elevator's doing this. I'm like, y'all get me the hell out of here, would you? So they get the elevator moving back to the second floor, open the door, and I just like a rat, a cockroach in the night. I'm gone. I'm like, no, I'm going in there again. So everybody's like just hysterically laughing. I'm like, I just want to go home now. Bye.
I shipped my pants.
Holy shit.
All I heard was people yelling, "Dave's stuck in the elevator." I'm like, sometimes I just don't know how you get into these.
Somebody tried to open the door while the elevator was in motion on the third floor, and it stopped the safety mechanism. And I'm like, Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Does that work?
No.
I was trying to tell them to keep him in there just for a couple more minutes, just for the extra scare factor, but they kind of felt they oh my goodness. What's that?
Just give him a Scooby snack.
Oh, buddy. I was just like, just get me out of here.
Carmen
Guys,
said,
do you hear that disembodied voice?
Yeah, that was Ernie underneath going, watch this.
But so many times during investigation, I always hear, like, Ernie, get down here, Dave's this, or get up here, Dave's that. And
yeah, Dave fell off the third story tier.
It's like, now it's like, how the hell you get stuck in an elevator, Dave? But Carmen just said she doesn't take elevators anymore for that exact reason. And I tell you what, I laugh and joke about it, but I actually got stuck in an elevator once, working a all-food part-time job, where, and the elevator actually dropped like half a floor with me in it.
That's what it did. It started doing this, and I'm like, just get me the out of here.
Yeah, I'm not claustrophobic, but it's very.
And then whoever was, when you're in an elevator that's already stopped, and all of a sudden the lights start coming on and off, and there's a switch inside.
Bye bye.
Yeah, and there's no way
outside with the switch doing this.
I knew that was the biggest thing because Dave is one of the most knowledgeable and technical investigators I've ever worked with. But Dave has a tendency of running.
Yeah.
And
we warn people when we start our investigation, there's two rules. Rule number 1, do not run. Rule number 2, unless your name is Dave.
But when he was trapped, I knew it's a wonder he didn't just go like this back and forth in the elevator. You know what I mean? So I knew when them doors come open, he was going to come out.
Oh, I came out like a shotgun.
Well,
I've actually had problems with an elevator too, doing this, doors opening and closing, and you can't. You gotta aim your time when you can get out.
Right.
No, thank you.
I mean, it is very frightening.
Oh, it was. And I'm a little bit claustrophobic to begin with, and when literally the elevator, the walls were like this by like this.
Yeah, they were little. It was little.
Enough for one person to stand in and go up.
You know what would have been funny? I'm sure you all seen it on Facebook. Remember they had that like the hidden camera and it was a joke?
Yeah.
And somebody be in the elevator and the light would go out, and then when it would come on, it was a little girl standing there.
Dude, you would see the elevator.
That would have
that would be the side of the elevator. Dave would have gone right on through, gone.
If you can get a picture of that, Ernie, we can have stickers made. I'm just saying. We know people.
T-shirts made and sell them at the bash.
We know people.
Oh my god. We
can meet.
and when we last month or 2 months ago or whatever, we were in Iowa for the Paranormal Relief Project.
Oh my god, he turned me into Aaron.
And we at the same time a documentary was being filmed.
He turned me into Aaron. I'm telling you what.
So
Dave, go down that dark hallway and go knock on that door.
So we have our group in the basement, what we call the Shadow Man hallway. There's been a lot of video and photos of the Shadow Man, and his room is actually down the end of the hallway. And I mean, it was the darkest dark you ever want to see. So Josh Hurd is walking around filming, and Richard Estep is with him, and they were in another room. So we're trying to entice this man very respectfully to come out and show himself. So I said to David, I said, hey, look, if you want somebody to come out, the best way is just go down and knock on his door and ask him to come out.
Why don't you go down and knock on the door?
So go ahead and knock on his door, Dave.
It's dark. All right. I know that there's on the third door. The first few doors are open. So I'm literally feeling the hallway because I'm like, all right, there's empty door number one. Great. Hallway door, wall. Okay, great. Doorway number two. Literally, I passed doorway opening number two, and it feels like somebody goes, boom.
Stop right there. We had a ball. We had a ball in the middle of the floor. When you touch it, it lights up, a big ball. So we're trying to focus, seeing Dave feel his way down the hallway. All I hear is a scream, the ball light up, and Dave hit the wall. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing? So sure enough, here comes Dave running up the hallway. So as he's making a right turn out of the hallway, he's running by screaming as Josh and Rich come by filming.
And they're like, are you okay? Yep.
And they look.
Nothing to see here.
Dave was actually pushed, which caused him to kick the ball, which lit up
and made sound and scared the ever-loving Jesus out of me.
And then he hit the wall. So at that point, the Shadow Man didn't come out, and I can't really say I blame him.
Well, no, the Shadow Man came out with the wrong door. Luckily, I had to keep the clothes in the car. So, yeah, he loves putting me in these little situations. Hey, Dave, go check that third-story drop right there.
Well, I mean, the guy's 6'6", so he's a little bit more safer than, sending little old Ernie down there. You know what I mean? So
it's less than a fall. You're fine.
Yeah, it's that sudden stop at the bottom.
Overrated.
So when
leave us really good EVPs, Dave. That's all.
Don't feel bad.
I've already told him when I die, I'm coming to haunt him.
I was going to say, don't feel bad. Paula set me up one night on an investigation too.
I did not.
Paula got to witness me going tactical on a Raggedy Ann.
Yes,
I forgot about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do explain.
We were doing a residential investigation, and downstairs in the downstairs apartment, this young lady had some Raggedy Anns, and all I had was a K2 meter with me, so I had just the green light from the K2 meter as I'm walking through. Doing you gonna be all right, Paula? I'm glad you can laugh. we're going through. I'm going through. She's out in the doorway. And I got my recorder going. I got the K2, and I just got the light of the K2, and all of a sudden I turned, and there's this Raggedy Ann face right in my face.
Oh my god!
And yeah, I went completely tactical, throat punched it and everything. So and then I heard this giggling out in the hallway.
The best part of that was doing evidence review. And not knowing the story, but seeing it and dying laughing.
Oh, my face hurts.
Oh, God, that's hysterical.
That was the best.
Where was that? Oh, you said that was a residential case.
Yeah, it was a residential in Rochester, New Hampshire.
Oh my God, that was.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever been to Rolling Hills?
No, I haven't.
Well, you guys are in Rochester, New York. Rolling Hills Asylum is in New York. It's in East Bethany.
Yep.
And so see if you guys can just happen to get in while you're there.
Okay.
I highly suggest it. It's a great location.
Mm-hmm.
We were with our old team and we're all like filed in the main hallway and just kind of standing there talking, where are we going to put equipment, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden we start hearing whistling. And we're all looking at each other going, who's the person that's whistling? Well, we're all talking. And it's dead quiet. Nobody's lips are moving. And you hear the whistle literally just down the hallway between all of us. And we're like, what? That's like, we all heard it.
Yeah, and you could have seen all of our heads were turning as it was going past us. We're like,
Oh, wow.
It was impressive. So I'm going down into the basement into the morgue to set up a camera. Well, I wasn't expecting a body in a body bag to be in the morgue. Hi. So you can imagine the shrill that came out of my mouth when I turned the corner in the morgue and there's this body laying there.
Well, that's a few years, man. I'm talking maybe 10 years ago or better. When I was with my original team, we investigated a mansion, and this place was huge. Well, they didn't tell us that the one room upstairs actually stored all the props for their Halloween haunted house. So I'm going down the hallway and I see a door and I'm like, and I tried and shoot, the door's open. So I open the door and I gently, walk into this room and I have a little dim flashlight. And when I put it on, all I see is a line of cloaked figures like looking at me. And I was like, oh my man. But I wasn't prepared for that. Hey, I want to answer Carmen's question real quick regarding the K2.
we lost your video.
I was just going to say, you guys disappeared.
Two things that's good with the K2, Carmen. We like to use it at doing a preliminary sweep to get a measure of the electrical readings and a good baseline. That way, if we do turn the K2 or some sort of meter like that back on later in the investigation, it's easier to tell the fluctuations if it's something that is possibly paranormal or not.
We lost our video. I'm working on it.
Twice.
We see that
3 times.
You bet.
We're working on it. There you go. There you go. Okay, we're back.
Hey.
We have occasionally I have a lot of activity in my house, and I have very mischievous spirits here that love to I have a whole computer set up over here. We're off screen where you can't see it from my work. We'll be sitting here and it'll turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. Then it'll flicker stuff. So I'm not surprised that we just lost the video.
We never had that happen before.
Nope, never had that one happen, but that was pretty cool.
And I swear I didn't kick nothing. I haven't moved my
because the
feet.
cable's right here. That was not it this time.
No, that wasn't.
Where's
Now
the
you're
dog?
talking about a body bag. All right, I got to tell a story. This is not paranormal, but all right. So let's go back in the Waybank Machine like 30 years ago. I worked out in Arizona as a maintenance personnel. I get a call at 3 a.m. in the morning that there's a leak in the building at the bottom floor. Started going through all the apartments, starting at the bottom, going up. Come to find out, I walk in and there is a bathtub that's overflowing with somebody who looks dead. So I reach in, I feel the pulse, nothing. Call the police. Police get there. He feels nothing. calls the coroner. He feels nothing. So the paramedics are there. They pick him up on a body bag, zip him up. They're all sitting in the middle of his living room talking about what happened, what I found out. The bag sticks up. True to God story. Bag unzips. Guy comes out. Dude, what's going on? I have never seen a police officer, a paramedic, a coroner, and myself move that fast. We're all at the door looking in going, dude, what's going on? You all right? Apparently, the water got so cold, he had so many pills and whatever in him, and he was in a cold water bath, and it brought his vitals down. And the coroner said, the coroner pronounced him. And they said apparently putting in the body bag warmed him up to apparently he came back. Whenever I see a body bag now, no.
Are you really dead?
Guess what Dave's going to discover on our next investigation?
You're never dead until you're warm and dead.
Holy crap. Oh, my God. Guys, we are almost about at that time where we got to cut you loose. Tell everybody that's watching or listening how they can contact you, follow you, see what you guys are doing, what you're capturing, and all that good stuff.
Everybody looks at folks.
So you can find us on our website at newenglandspiritsociety.org and New England Spirit Society on Facebook. And you'll be actually on the website and on Facebook. You can communicate with us. And every now and then when you sign on to the website, you might even get me saying hello to you, kind of like a creeper, because I get excited when somebody comes on our website.
He does. I've seen it.
Wow.
And then Melissa is going to be setting us up on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Cool. Very
She's our
good.
media queen.
Oh, that's my name.
Media.
Publicly.
Who is the media queen?
The probie.
The probing. Rook.
She's got a face for TV.
Well, guys, we can't thank you enough.
Thank you for joining us.
We got to have you back because I want to hear your evidence from what you're reviewing now and all that good stuff. If there's anything you need from Dave and I, Jamie, all of you know how to get in touch with us. And whenever we are up that way, we will give you pre-warning that we are coming over.
Well, and we have permission from this client that if we have any good evidence, they have signed off a waiver saying that we can share the evidence as long as we don't disclose the location.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
So,
oh man, that would be amazing.
We'll get some evidence together for you guys.
And they've given us permission to bring other investigators over too every now and then.
Yeah, that would be awesome. When you get that done, Jamie, contact me. We'll get you because I handle all the scheduling for our episodes. We'll get you right back on right away, and I would love to hear about it. And just keep us posted, man, on anything you do because Dave and I, we hear so many stories from our friends about up that way.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, we love it. So keep in touch. Thank you again for coming on.
That one I know.
Talk to y'all soon.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Bye.
They are awesome.
They're so funny, man.
They're a blast.
Can you imagine? That poor guy. I know them women put him through hell being the only guy on the team.
7 women. I was counting them, and 1 guy. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez, it was. Oh my goodness. Dave, guess what is in 4 weeks as of tomorrow?
What's that?
The 2021 Gettysburg Battlefield Bash,
baby.
And we were with the crew last night, and everybody's so excited, and I cannot wait. It is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely.
And after that, let's see, what's that in August?
Yep.
September, world's largest ghost hunt.
Yeah.
This year, man, we got a cool lineup with us this year, guys. Dave and I will be returning to the Samuel Miller Mansion. we have 3 amazing guests coming with us. Of course, everyone knows Jeff Leeper. Okay, we got Jeff coming with us. We have the Maven medium, Kelly Miller, who'll be joining us. And our good friend from Happy Horrors Productions, Loren Malloy, is going to be with us.
Now, we have somebody asking, how do you get tickets to that?
Here's the thing.
For us, this one you can't.
Yeah, this is as of right now.
We're only going to have 6 people there.
The location that we're at is not open to the public.
Correct.
We're going to be investigating it. If anything else changes, we will announce, and because things are still in the works. But at this point, it looks like it's just going to be us investigating it, and maybe about a half dozen observers that I have no.
And they're not going to be investigating the observers.
They're just going to be observing.
They're just going to be in the background watching what's going on.
Right. And the person that runs the mansion, I believe, will be making that selection.
Definitely.
And also, I've been waiting to do this.
Okay.
Regarding my long overdue book.
Book 'em, Dano.
My very first book that I recently completed. It is entitled Paranormal, My Chosen Journey. Will be released on August 19th. And I will have copies of it at the bash for those that are interested. And we're going to try to set it up so that you can pre-order. So as soon as Dave gets on the ball with that, you'll be able to. Oh, I didn't ask you.
Hi, my name's Speedball. Nice to meet you.
But anyway, that's about it. We got one residential until the bash, and then we're gonna try to chill out till the bash gets here, because we get a lot of preparation for all that and everything that we take and all that good stuff. So on that note, David, you have anything else or
no? Other than just send some prayers of healing my way, because Thursday I took a little bit of a trip during a fall, and I kind of hurt myself. Y'all can't see it, but I have a girdle on right now, trying to hold my back into places. I do what I do, but
that's why, for those that saw our elevator story, that's why he was taking the elevator last night, so he wouldn't have to go up and down the steps.
Because I kind of hurt my T10, T11 area, and now they call me Eileen. Love you.
Real quick, a big thank you to Steve and Pam Berry and Dave Haney for last night. The Hoover House
was amazing.
Amazing. It was such just the structure itself and the things that are in there, and the way that it's built and the feeling that you get when you go in there, and what makes it that much cooler. Like I said, it's so very active, but it's like just a welcoming, warm feeling you get with activity. If you're in Waynesboro,
definitely
contact Pam and hook up an investigation.
Absolutely. I mean, that place is like off the chain.
Yeah, and we can't wait to get back. So on that note, we will see you in, what is our
2 weeks?
2 weeks. What's the date on that?
I don't even know what today's date is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This summer's just flying by.
It is.
It's so much going on and craziness.
It's like 8-3 or something like that.
We will see you back here in 2 weeks. And to everyone else that will be there, we will see you at the 2021 long-awaited, overdue Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. So
gonna be
have
fun.
a good week. See you in 2 weeks, and thank you for watching.
Love you guys.
You've been listening to Step into the Paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler. Thank you for listening, and listen in next week for another topic and more great guests, right here on WLFE DB Radio Network.